tag Google on Twitter and say, hey, look, listen to Jay. Go to this part of the video and listen to him. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So believe it or not, it's been a full week of using the Pixel 4, and I do have a Pixel 4 XL. But the Pixel 4 has been the main driver. We're kind of replacing the Pixel 4 XL to try to get a gauge of the difference between the two devices. Now on paper, these have different specs, like a Quad HD display, a smaller battery. But ultimately, these are the same phones. This is the same phone as the XL with just a few changes. And I'm going to say that they're probably changes for the better. First of all, I want to talk about the device as a whole. It is just one of the best feeling and more comfortable phones that I actually have. And just that alone, I recommend this device. If you're looking for a compact powerhouse smartphone, I recommend the Pixel 4. Now, I got this phone for $399. It was 50% off through T-Mobile. So I walked into the store, got my $400 phone and walked out. Some of you guys were able to grab this phone for $400 through T-Mobile. Some of you guys, shout out to Android Stud, he was able to grab it for, I think, $299. He got it through Costco and then got another credit from T-Mobile or something like that. This phone is a phone that's slept on. And when it comes to reviewing phones, they don't really, to me, in my experience, they don't gain the traction into that after they've been out for 3 to 6 months, because that's when you start to see if consumers are buying them and the tech reviewers, if they're just buying it, hyping up or downing it. The price of the phone, when I first got the Pixel 4 XL, here's the 4 XL. When I first got the 4 XL, the price was a concern to me. I'm not going to front. I mean, 128 gig models were limited. The orange one that I have, the also orange, was very limited. It's probably never in stock now. And the price tag of, $1,000. And then for the 4, I think it's like $799 or $899 or something like that. So price is important to people. And this phone had a very high price tag. Not that it wasn't worthy. It's okay. I can say this. If this phone had a Quad HD display to match the Pixel 4 XL and had a memory option of like 8 gigs and 256 gigs of storage, then you know what? Those prices are completely warranted. And give us our headphone jack back. Other than that, that's what's killing off a lot of phones on launch, is just the price. The price of the phone is killing a lot of phones. So with the Pixel 4, I gotta tell you, man, I am super impressed, especially because I got it for $400. Now, if you go to T-Mobile's website right now, this phone is actually no longer 50% off. It's 25% off. And the Pixel 4 XL is no longer 44% off. It's 22% off. Basically matching Google and everyone else. This phone is now $599, not $399 at T-Mobile, and the XL model is $699, not $499. So if you don't move quick, you're gonna miss it. An alternative is the OnePlus 7T, which I have one of those, and that one now is $499 at T-Mobile and $499 on OnePlus directly, and you get some earbuds with OnePlus. But the Pixel 4 XL is a great phone that lasts me for days on a charge. Now the Pixel 4, after like the 3rd day, it just settled in, man. It settled in, and the battery life is great. I mean, it's been a full week of using this phone, and the battery life is fantastic, folks. Don't let people lie to you or mislead you. Listen, let me say this, and this is I don't care what anybody else says. This is not the flop of the year. This is not the flop of 2019. This isn't a flop at all. It's incredible to hear stuff like that. The reviews and the life of a phone start at the 3 to 6 month mark. This is why sometimes I don't buy a phone as soon as it comes out, because it'll be easy for me to forget it. But I love Pixel devices and I love stock Android phones, so it's easy to use the Pixel 4 XL for all this time. These phones have only been out for some months. So between 3 to 6 months, that's when we start to see the real life of a device and what it's worth. And that's, people always ask, is it worth it? Is it worth it? You have to buy it and determine whether you think it's worth it. And I'm going to say that this phone is still the king of cameras, man. It's just footage that is taken from this phone, like photos and things, How could it not impress you? Yes, I know we have hundreds of megapixels, 100 times zoom, all this other stuff. This phone doesn't have an ultra wide angle lens. To me, that's a flaw. No wide angle lens on a great phone like this. Only thing I ask is why? Seriously, why? And I've asked that months ago. So they don't have to answer me. I don't care if they answer or not. I'm still Team Pixel because this phone, along with the 4 XL, is two of the best phones on the market. Not because I got this for $400. I've liked the Pixel 4 devices since I first got my own, the first one. So it's just a matter of that price and those options that they took off. This phone should have had 256 gigs of storage. This phone should have had a Quad HD display just like the bigger brother, and it should have had a bigger battery. You know, you think about how much, even at 400, folks, there are still phones out there that have just as good of cameras, and some are better in video, and they have bigger batteries, they have SD cards. There's a ton of them that cost under 400 to have those great specs. So some people say, oh, you know, the price should have been that to begin with. Most of the people who are saying that never bought the phone at the higher price, so they don't know if it's worth it or not. I see a lot of comments out there on this device where people are talking about it should have been priced at $499 to begin with. Well, how do you know that you didn't buy it when it was at the regular price? The same thing happened to the Essential phone. I bought the Essential phone at full cost, and I still have it today, and it's still awesome. And everybody else bought it when the price went down. Even I went back and bought a couple more when the price went down. But listen, the life of the phone is determined by us, the consumers. Cameras on this phone, just beast mode. I mean, beyond great. This phone has some of the best cameras and I use this phone. I use the Pixel 4. I have a 3A XL also. So I use the 3A XL, this phone now, and I also use my Pixel 4 XL for pretty much all the thumbnails or just photos for social media. I generally do only portrait shots because I like to focus on the item itself. And these phones right here, the Pixel devices, period, are king of the hill. I don't care what anybody says. This is my opinion. Pixel phones are king of the hill when it comes to portrait shots. The only thing that comes close is the iPhones. And they're still not better in my opinion. I like the Pixel better. So, and again, subjective, personal opinion, that's me. But using this phone for a week straight, man, the battery has gotten so much better than I thought. The phone is now lasting 20-something hours, as you can see. It's lasting 20-something hours now. That was 23, but, you know, hey, it went from 15 hours now to 23 hours just after a week. And it's going to get better, folks. I'm now grabbing like 5.5 to 6.5 hours of screen on time, consistently getting over 5 and more closer to 6. And that's saying something, man. That is saying something that you can't really get the gist of a device in the first month. My Pixel 3 or Pixel 4 XL, people ask, well, how is it that you getting, you know, I just turned it off because I had the charge. I was charging it. I like to let it charge the fastest, so it's power back on. People ask, well, how is it that you getting 3 days and I'm only getting 18 hours? Because we're different people, son. I call you son because you shine like one. Listen, you can't judge your usage off of somebody else's usage. There's a lot of people out there that are getting 3-day battery life or 2.5-day battery life, or just they're getting 7 hours of screen on time, and people are telling me that I'm not getting it. Hey, that's fine, son. That's fine. I know what I'm doing over here, though. And I'm telling you, these Pixel devices right here are some of the best on back, and this one is just getting better. I was very skeptical though, but I need to go by my own words when I say optimization is key, and that is the truth. iPhones are the only phones that are optimized perfectly to work great and give you long times, screen on time and long standby time with smaller batteries. Pixels can do it too. OnePlus devices can do it too. My OnePlus 7T and even my OnePlus 7 Pro, nearly all of my OnePlus devices have fantastic battery. You know, it's just what it is, you know. So when it comes to reviewing these phones, man, it's super easy sometimes, and then sometimes it's difficult. And with a phone like the Pixel 4, I looked online, you know, and I just because I do reviews, you know, on the side, I still looked online and I saw all the bad things people said about the Pixel 4, this smaller version. They're like, well, why? You know, why does this phone exist? Huh? Not everybody wants to carry around a jumbo size phone. And let me tell you, folks, this phone right here is much smaller than the bigger brother. Much smaller. It's much smaller. This is way better in your pocket and in your hand. Now, I know that the Pixel 4 XL isn't the biggest phone, but it is still a big phone. And a phone like this weighs less. It's easier on your hands, easier in the pocket. These are some beautiful phones, man. I don't care what nobody say. Oh, they ugly. Hey, remember, that's all personal preference, man. You make your own choices. I'm telling you right now, if you were skeptical about buying the Pixel 4, and remember, I'm a part of Team Pixel, but they don't pay me any money and they don't tell me what to say. They don't watch my videos. I'm telling you, the Pixel 4 is a device that, just like the Essential phone, just because of the price and some of the specs, got slept on. Now, I've said it before, neither one of these phones were worth the price at the launch because of the things they didn't have compared to the competition. The only thing that Google needs to tweak on this phone, let's just say they bring a Pixel 4a. The Pixel 4a, if they make a small one only, I've heard that it's only going to be a small one, or there won't even be one. In any case, the next Pixel device that they bring out, it needs to have an ultra wide lens. If they're going to stick with this telephoto lens, this super zoom thing, a macro lens, add an ultra wide lens. Listen, Google, Team Pixel, you need to holler at me in the comments. I'm telling you, if you're a fan of Team Pixel, if you're a fan of Pixels, shout it out in the comments, man. Get the conversation going. Share the video. Give it to Google. Tag Google on Twitter and say, hey, look, listen to Jay. Go to this part of the video and listen to him. He's a part of y'all's Team Pixel. He's trying to keep y'all afloat. Listen, right now, the only thing Google needs to do, this hardware is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? All they need to do is add an ultra wide lens, bump the storage to 256, Google. Bump it and give us a headphone jack back. If you're not going to give us a higher memory option, give us an SD card. Do something. And you notice I didn't even say cut the price, because honestly, folks, who wouldn't want to spend? I'm talking about to the people who do flagships, the people out there who do the trade-ins, or the people who like flagships. Why wouldn't you want a small, compact phone like this? Is the perfect size to me, man. 5.7-inch display, but it's the perfect size in hand. Even with the case, it's still small enough with a bigger screen. Don't you want 256 gigs of storage for the prices that's coming about on these phones? Don't you want an ultra wide lens? Don't you want a headphone jack? Now, what I will say is this. The speakers on here are just as loud, man. Oh my goodness, man. They are loud. The speakers on here are really, really loud, just like the Big Brother here. It's incredible, man. It's really loud. I'm trying to find a video with some music or something. Let's just go here. Shout out to Soldier Knows Best. I met that young cat at a Samsung event a while back. He's a nice guy. That's why I rock with him. So here we go. Let's just play this.
When I switched from my Yukon to my
and the microphone, folks,
the trailer backup assist,
the microphone's facing me.
So much.
Microphone's facing me. Still rocking loud. If I put it by the mic, man, I'm gonna put it by the mic. You tell me that ain't no good speaker, man. These stereo speakers on here are banging. You got all of that, Google, but you got me with a 64 gig of storage. Or a 128 that's never in stock. I mean, once again, shout out to Team Pixel, man. Like, for real. These type of discussion videos, to me, are the real reviews. You know, where I'm using the phone, I'm giving you some honest feedback, but I guess people don't want the truth, man. They want to be entertained. Quote that. Jay Will. First person to quote that, I'm going to pin it down below. People do not want the truth. They want to be entertained. And I've gone on record and said it in this video, and I'm going to say it again. This is not the flop of 2019, man. It's totally not. Essentials are things that are catered to each individual. Whether something is worth something is up to you. I got the deal of the century once again. $399 for a Pixel 4. The Panda White? Come on, son. I call you that because you shine like one. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed the discussion video on the Pixel 4 after 7 days straight. Beast mode, man. I'm out.